Do world events just happen, or are they orchestrated? Is there a secret organization of elites running the world? Follow me down the rabbit hole of the New World Order. Welcome back, all you skeptics. I'm Dani, and I'm your host, and today we are talking about the New World Order. So, I was doing some research for you all for another episode, and the more research I do for more episodes, the more I realize that a lot of our episodes are tied to the New World Order, and we haven't even really talked about them. And I know in the Denver airport episode, I told you we were going to go into the New World Order, the Illuminati, the Freemasons. So this week I really wanted to tell you who the New World Order is, what is believed behind them, and that way when we talk about other conspiracy theories, you kind of have that basis of like, okay, cool, the New World Order. Yeah, they're definitely got some weird things going on, right? So what's going on there? The New World Order is believed to be linked to the Illuminati and is said to be a hidden organization of world leaders and the richest members of society that's planning global domination. The New World Order was used by Hitler to describe Nazism, and it's said that the New World Order is going to usher in like a new age of peace. So they're going to use like fascist, totalitarian type tactics to control the world. And that is the New World Order. And it will be like one government. So one giant government to control the whole world. You're going to have one currency, one religion, one language, one everything. Everything's just going to be under one giant overlapping control. Right? So what is the mission of the New World Order? Mostly population control and world domination. So, I mean, just a couple easy things. They're just going to control the population. Why? Because if you depopulate, and we talked about this in the Denver airport episode, smaller population is better to control, easier to control for world domination. I mean, who doesn't want to control the entire world? So, I mean, makes sense. If you're going to have a secret society, it should definitely be for world domination. So who's kind of like involved with the New World Order? Like when we talk about this, who are we talking about? So the Federal Reserve, the Council of Foreign Relations, the U.S. government, naturally. Also like the British monarchy, so like the Queen of England is, and obviously like her predecessors, yeah, the royal family for sure. The World Health Organization, and this I didn't really find in my research for like the New World Order research, but actually in my research for another episode, I'm really excited to bring out for you guys. The World Health Organization is brought up several times where they're saying, well, obviously all these things happened because the World Health Organization, was giving out things around the world. I'm trying not to give too much away. And that it was a depopulation tactic, right? So of course the Illuminati, the Freemasons, Wall Street, and then it says like the richest members of society. And when I hear that, I think of like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So Bill and Melinda Gates, right? Because their foundation, when you're trying to find certain facts about like vaccines, for instance, they keep coming up. And I don't know about you, but like, what does Microsoft have to do with vaccines? So I'm not really understanding all of that, putting the pieces together there. So I'm just throwing that out as like who I think of when I hear like the richest members of society. And whoever you think of, that's who you think of. So that is, there's more people that could definitely be included in this New World Order, but like I said, they're trying to do like a one language, one currency, one religion type thing. And so if it's one currency, obviously the Federal Reserve would have to be involved. You want the Council of Foreign Relations, NATO, United Nations, these types of organizations, because that's how they're going to start controlling the world. And that's how world domination starts when you get a lot of top people from all these countries to come together and, I don't know, dominate the world. So how is this going to happen? What are they planning? An economic collapse of some sort? And we kind of started seeing that. I mean, we've seen it previously with like the Great Depression. We had a huge economic collapse. Or you saw it in 2008 with the recession. And right now, current events, we have inflation out the wazoo. And so just like an economic collapse where people can't afford anything, the world kind of goes a little crazy when money is involved. And if there's an economic collapse, it's the perfect way to usher in a new age of peace, like, I don't know, maybe the Great Reset, another conspiracy theory we will definitely get into for sure. But under the Great Reset, you have a welfare state. An economic collapse would be perfect way to usher in a welfare state because people need you then. So, I mean, it makes sense. I don't know. I'm throwing out facts here. You guys figure it out. Also another theory of how they would start to kind of, take over the world is a terrorist attack. So it's been said that the Oklahoma City bombing and 9/11 were tests to see how big of a terrorist attack we need to have the military come over to enforce martial law. And I don't know if you guys remember, but right after 9/11, we come together as a country to really we're like, we can't let terrorists attack our country. Like, we have to protect ourselves. So what do? We signed in the Patriot Act. TSA all over the place. TSA, yes, there was security before 9/11, but it was not this intense, guys. We have to get to the airport so early because we have to pull out literally everything out of our bags, take off our shoes. We might as well just get naked to walk through that thing. It's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. We do not want another terrorist attack. I understand the meaning behind TSA. I'm not trying to bag on them. Anyway, so a terrorist attack really brings us together as a country, but also really instills fear into people. And so if there's fear, people are more likely to give away their freedoms easier than if there's no fear. So we saw that with 9/11 when there's a fear of terrorism that we're like, okay, let's sign in the Patriot Act. Let's go ahead and let's get TSA. So when we go through the airport, we can only bring enough shampoo for like a wash and a half. If you have a lot of hair, if you don't have very much hair, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that it makes sense that they would use a terrorist attack to scare people into giving away their freedoms, to have this new governmental organization type, a new world order, come in and take over. Along these same lines, if there is a huge terrorist attack, one of the things they say will go into effect right away with martial law will be the massive gun roundups. This happened in Nazi Germany. There has been a history of this, and as it's been said, history repeats itself. Gun control is the first step to one world government, and it's the easiest way to control a population, because you can easily control a population that cannot fight back. Also, it's been said, and this is way off topic here, but one of the reasons we haven't been invaded by so many of our enemies is that so many Americans have guns that our enemies are actually scared. Like, if they invade us, it won't just be our military that they have to worry about. It's also the citizens. So, again, a little off topic, but if there's a huge terrorist attack, martial law goes into effect, massive gun roundups go into effect. Now, it's easier to control the population that you do currently have before the depopulation tactics come into play, if your citizens don't have any more guns. So, and along those same lines, all put together here, guys, hundreds of concentration camps are said to be around the U.S., all over the place. So, it's believed that huge thing happens, economic collapse, terrorist attack, something goes on, right? And so now the New World Order is like trying to put in their little foot, and they're like, we're taking over. Here's our opportunity. We're going to take all the guns, and those people that decide not to give us their guns, we'll either kill them and take their guns, or we'll just put them in concentration camps because they decided they don't like what we're doing. Wow, this sounds really oddly familiar. I don't know. Can anybody say Nazi Germany? Anyway, back to the New World Order. Now we're going to get into a few things about where the New World Order headquarters is. And you already know what I'm going to say. Guys, the Denver airport. We have a swastika runway. Our runways are in the shape of a swastika. It's a symbol. It's been said. Like I said, these are all facts that I found for you. It's a symbol of the New World Order. And you can see that when we go all the way back to Nazi Germany. I hate that I have to keep bringing up Nazi Germany, but here we go. You go back to Nazi Germany, where the New World Order was used by Hitler to describe Nazism. And out here, the Denver airport, you look at an aerial view of the way the runways are situated, and you've got a swastika. I'm not making this up. Look at the aerial view. Look at the aerial view of other airports. Like, how come this airport with the runways are all in weird directions?
Did you know that over 40% of Americans have a hard time swallowing pills? So when it's time to take your vitamins, large capsules and pills are out of the question. We know that gummy vitamins exist, but they're full of sugar, they get stuck in your teeth, and they only contain a fraction of the nutrients you need. Luckily, Easy Melts has discovered the ultimate vitamin sweet spot. Vitamins that melt in your mouth, taste like a treat, and are packed with nutrients ready for absorption, all without an ounce of sugar. For a limited time, Easy Melts is giving listeners a free 3-month supply of vitamin D3 with their first purchase. To claim your free D3 vitamins, visit try.easymelts.com/spring24. That's melts.com/spring24. Say goodbye to the old way of taking your vitamins and say hello to the easy way. Menopausal and perimenopausal women, listen up. It's time to take control of your health and comfort, and Winona is here to help. Winona is a telemedicine company for menopause care who believes that your symptoms are real, important, and deserve to be taken seriously. And for many women, this starts with hormone replacement therapy. Winona's HRT is made with plant-based, bioidentical hormones rather than synthetic ones, so it better aligns with your body to offer relief from hot flashes, weight gain, and other uncomfortable symptoms. 80% of women who use Winona find relief within just 90 days. So, what are you waiting for? Get started today. Visit buywinona.com today to start your free visit. With free shipping and the ability to pause or cancel at any time, your path to wellness has zero obligations. Use code SPRING24 at buywinona.com for 25% off your first treatment plan. That's BYWINONA.com for 25% off. Winona. Menopause care made easy.
I don't know. I know we've been over this in the Denver airport episode. I'm just reiterating for you guys. Just a quick recap. It's been said to be the New World Order headquarters, and it was commissioned by the New World Airport Commission. So one of the things I'm going to kind of get in here a little bit, I did not bring up in the Denver airport episode. Because honestly, at the time, I guess maybe I just didn't put all the pieces together, and I don't know where my brain was at here. But there's a little mining cart. It's inlaid in the floor in the airport, and it has the inscription AU and AG on it. Debunkers say that it stands for the gold and the silver, the miners here in Colorado. But the conspiracists, the skeptics out there, they say, oh no, AUAG actually stands for the Australia antigen, which is a deadly strain of hepatitis. And if we want to go one step further, it refers to a virus potentially being released by the New World Order to kill a bunch of the population, right? Because population control. Well, if you remember back to the murals where you have that military figure wearing a gas mask, it all kind of like makes sense if you have this Australia antigen, which is released into the air, gives a bunch of people hepatitis, and a bunch of people die. The New World Order wants a smaller population because it's easier to control and it's easier to take back control. Go ahead, release this virus, this airborne virus, and that's why the military figure is wearing a gas mask. And then, so we jump from Denver. So we're here in Denver. We're at the airport, New World Order headquarters. Now we fly out to Georgia. Guys, I'm going to do a whole episode on the Georgia Guidestones. I've been there. They are freaking cool. Also a little creepy. So we're going to do an episode on those. And I'll post, I took my own pictures. I'll post my pictures. They're really cool. But they are like these giant granite slabs in Georgia. And they're in the granite capital of like the world. So of course there's these giant granite slabs. And there's these 10 commandments written on these giant slabs in 8 different languages. And the first commandment says that we should keep our population under 500 million people. You know, there's almost like 7 billion people in the world right now. Like that, there's a lot of people in the world right now. And this guidestone says, hey, yeah, you should definitely keep the population down to under 500 million people. Who made these guidestones? Unknown. Literally nobody knows who did it. Well, that's not 100% true because one banker at the bank did know the real identity of the man who was called R.C. Christian. And again, we'll get into this in the episode. And he is the guy that funded the Georgia Guidestones. There was a lot of money that went into it because these slabs of granite are huge, guys. I don't even know how to explain like how big these are. You need to go and check them out. If you're ever in Georgia, make a point. It's a quick stop. It's really cool. Go to the Coke World, go to the Georgia Guidestones. You do a really good little Atlanta tour, Georgia tour. One of the commandments is let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. So, yeah, do with that what you want. I don't want to even explain it because I want you to make your own opinions and thoughts on that statement or that commandment of one of the 10. But also, the Guidestones are a perfect calendar. There's cutouts in these stones. So when there's the summer solstice, where the sun sets on the horizon comes perfectly through one of the holes, and it's actually really cool. But it's also been said that I'm gonna put all these pieces together here. The Guidestones are supposed to guide people back from a horrific event, right? That's what the Guidestones are there for. If something tragic happens in our world and a bunch of people happen to just die, these are the 10 commandments that you should definitely live by. Also, these Guidestones will tell you like what the calendar is, so you can definitely like figure it all out, get back to normal. Let's get back to regular life and just keep moving forward. If that doesn't sound like New World Order-ish to you, I don't really know what does. I guess go to the Guidestones, guide your way back after all these people die. Because the easiest way to control people is to kill a bunch of them. Just kidding. Okay, a couple other things that I didn't really know where to tie in. So I just wanted to tie them all in kind of at the end to just give you these bits of information because I found them. I thought they were cool and I wanted to share. So after the Cold War, when George Bush Sr. was our president still, and it was right after the Cold War, he said, "We can see a new world coming into view, a world in which there is a real prospect of a new world order." That's a direct quote. I didn't make it up. Found it. There it is for you guys. Again, global elites, the U.S. government, people in power are talking about a new world order. And honestly, like it might have just been like a slip up. Maybe he was not supposed to say something like that. And then he did. So cool. There was also talk, and this hasn't actually happened. It doesn't currently exist, but there's talk of a NAFTA superhighway that would run from Canada to Mexico, pretty much like eliminating borders. So there wouldn't be like 3 different countries. It would just be all one North American Union, which is kind of like a small scale world order. But it's been actually, some people theorize that the New World Order is just for the US, and some people theorize it's for the whole world. So it, depending on which theory you follow, it could either be, a North American Union, which would be like the US version of the New World Order, or maybe you believe in like the whole world, and that could be like the first step into a whole world order as well. So just however you look at that, you do with that what you want. And this one, okay guys, this is out there even for me. So I'm going to share it with you. Again, do with it what you want, but I'm just here to give you the information. So people believe that Jay-Z and Beyonce, when they welcome their first child, they believe they're part of the Illuminati, that they're part of the richest members of society that are part of the New World Order. So Jay-Z and Beyonce, I mean, they're pretty wealthy. They have a lot of influence over a lot of people. And so they had their first daughter, and their first child, her name was Blue Ivy Carter. What people say is an obvious nod to their overlords that their daughter, her name Blue, stands for born living under evil, and Ivy stands for Illuminati's very youngest, and then her last name would be Carter. Because the New World Order is said, like I said, one religion, but it's said to be like an Antichrist type world order, I guess. So there would be no religion, which would be the religion, which that's why I included like the one religion thing, because I don't know. It all goes back to whatever you want to believe. So maybe Jay-Z and Beyonce named their daughter Blue Ivy because she's born living under evil as Illuminati's very youngest member, and she will be a part of the New World Order. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. Do you believe that there's an organization out there controlling everything and everyone? I mean, we could take it one step further, and this is just like me speculating over here. So I didn't find this on the internet. I'm sure it's probably on the internet. If I tried hard enough to find it, I could definitely find it. But here's me speculating. It's been said that the Oklahoma City bombing and 9/11 were attacks to see how big of an attack they need to really implement some stuff. What if COVID-19 was a way to see how big of a pandemic, what people will do when there's a worldwide pandemic, how many of their freedoms and rights they will be willing to give away if there's a pandemic? If the New World Order actually releases a virus like the Australia antigen, that will cause a pandemic, and if it's as aggressive as people are saying it's gonna be, then now they're seeing like, oh, it's worse than the COVID-19, potentially, I don't know all these things, but potentially worse than the COVID-19 pandemic, and they were willing to give away this many freedoms during the pandemic, so let's just push it like way further. I don't know, guys. You decide. Is there even a New World Order? Am I just spewing things off the internet to like rile everybody up? It's up to you. You decide. But until next week, my friends, stay weird and stay skeptical. Hey guys, so we're doing a really awesome little giveaway over here at the Rabbit Hole Podcast. So I would love it if you give me a rating or review, or you share the podcast out on your socials. I would love it if you guys could just send me a screenshot on our Instagram, and I want to send you like a sticker of our logo for a little appreciation. So if you guys would do that for me, I would love to send you a little gift for you. If you like the show, please leave us a rating and review wherever you are listening. Follow us on Instagram at rabbit.holepodcast. The Rabbit Hole is an independent podcast with all research, writing, editing, and producing done by me, Dani Mercy. Special thank you to Zakar Valaha Music.